Buenas querido Vivian de Zamboanga. Welcome to another special edition of No Limit. Live kita esta tarde. We have a very special guest this afternoon. He is a TV host, former chairperson of the National Youth Commission, son of the youngest brother of Benigno Aquino, and cousin of the President. In 2006, he founded the Micro Ventures Incorporated Microfinancing Organization and is president of the Micro Ventures Foundation. He is a TOYM awardee in 2011, and he was my special guest 2 years ago when he was campaigning for his cousin. Please welcome his awesomeness, Bam Aquino.
His awesomeness. Okay, I'm back.
You're back to Zamboanga. What brings you back to Zamboanga, Bam?
Well, I have a few engagements for may dalawang forum po that I'm attending. So I just attended the WEMSU one a few minutes ago, and then tomorrow is the Ateneo de Zamboanga one naman on social enterprise.
Just in 2 years' time since you were here in No Limit, you have accomplished a lot.
I've got that's what my accomplishment is.
True. TOYM awardee in 2011 and
2010.
2010. Yeah, and also an awardee. What's this? With your partner Mark Ruiz, you were named as the Asian Social Entrepreneur of the Year by the World Economic Forum Schwab Foundation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. That's because of our work in Hapinoy. So when I came here the last time, we talked about politics primarily, but actually since 2006. We've been doing our work through the Hapinoy program. It's a social enterprise, which basically means meron po siyang puso ng isang NGO, pero yung paraan ng pagpapatakbo sa kanya is through business. So we support microfinance clients, mostly women, actually. Mostly women, sari-sari store owners and micro-producers. We help them with their businesses. We group them together. We train them. We link them to companies. We do all sorts of things to help them get better revenues and better businesses.
This new concept of doing business is more or less a move towards what we call the socialized market economy in this country. Are we ready for that in the Philippines right now? Will the business community who are now in the helm of everything, are they prepared for this?
Well, I think it's really a meeting of both worlds. No? So, on the one hand, you have the NGO sector, non-government organizations. Yung traditional way of getting resources for NGOs is usually through getting grants or getting donations. But the world market is failing, and most NGOs right now, kapag kumukuha sila sa mga usual sources of funding nila, kadalasan wala na rin. So, there's a need for a lot of non-government organizations to develop ways to create their own value, or to create their own revenue. On the other hand, you have businesses in the world who are starting to see that profit is not enough as a goal. Because you have companies like Coca-Cola, Unilever, big, gigantic multinational companies who are starting to say, it's not enough that we make money, we have to make sure our environmental impact is positive, that the communities that we work in are also supported. So you have these big companies changing their bottom line, not just having a profit bottom line, but also trying to see their role in the communities where they come from. On the other hand, meron ka naman mga NGOs who are starting to say, the old model by which we do things, hindi na rin sustainable kasi yung pinagkakuhanan natin ng pera, paubos na rin. So, the place where it meets in the middle is really the social enterprise, where you have an organization which has the heart of an NGO, but has the innards and the engine of a business, And we've found that when you work on the ground and you get people to eventually put up their own businesses or to eventually engage in enterprise, yung impact noon, di hamak mas magaling at mas maganda kaysa sa yung namimigay ka lang ng dole-outs, Because there's a spirit of empowerment that's created when you work with communities and they can stand on their own 2 feet, So you come in, you support them to get on their own feet, and eventually they can support themselves. Biblically, if I may quote the Bible here, sabi nga, you give a person a fish and you feed him for 1 day. You teach them how to fish and you feed them forever. So the spirit of social enterprise is really trying to empower these communities so they can stand on their own feet and eventually be on the path towards progress that they're on, as well as hindi siya artificial. You're not just pump priming the community so they can improve. You're actually getting them to do it themselves, and you're there to support. For Hapinoy, the reason why we've been getting these awards or accolades is because in the world, it's unique, The way that we work with sari-sari stores, to organize them, to bring them together, to connect them to companies, to get prices lower for their stores, and eventually linking up smaller producers to these communities, no? That's something that other parts of the world also wants to see. Kasi sa Africa, they're not called sari-sari stores, pero meron din mga tindahan doon. Sa China, meron din doon, no? So, you know, when the UN and the Schwab Foundation, when they awarded us, yung paningin nila is, by awarding this little organization in the Philippines, we might be able to bring what they're doing to other parts of the world. No?
By the way, I would like to tell the people of Zamboanga that si Bam here, who is the head or one of the founders of the Happy Noy program, won the UN's Project Inspire Award, besting 400 social enterprises from all over the world.
Yeah.
So that is indeed a big honor for the Philippines.
It was. That was the first ever Project Inspire Award. And yun nga, when we're at that level, when we're in the international competitions or awards, tingin naman namin hindi yan Happy Noy. Pilipinas yung hinaharap natin dyan. It's not just the program.
So what do you think were the elements in your program that made it unique and made you win this award?
Well, I think it's because again, maybe when we help the communities, it's not really a pure dole out. No, we're able to get them on their own feet. There's a program in which our support is there to help them become better stores, or become better entrepreneurs, and that makes a world of difference. Kasi kung yung mga nanays mismo, kung yung mga babae who run the stores are functioning well, they're trained well, they have a successful mindset, if they believe that they can really do well with their stores, that just creates a spirit of success that the whole community can really be part of. The funny thing about that is it's a Women Empowerment Award, and in that competition, dalawa lang kaming lalaki and there were 8 other women. So I was saying, naku, baka automatically talo tayo kasi tayo yung lalaki. But we won the first prize. A male representative won. So pagbalik ko sa Manila, kasi this was done in Singapore, when I went back to Manila, every time kami magkakaroon ng away ng fiancé ko, sasabihin niya, hindi mo ko pwedeng awayin kasi Women Empowerment Awardee ka, sabi niya ganyan, So you can't, hindi ko pwedeng mag-away. So, this signaled the first big award for Happy Noy. And after that, we started to get a lot of recognition from all over the world.
So how do we start equating this and start spreading this good news or this mode of doing business, especially to the countryside?
Well, actually, Happy Noy is all in the countryside. We don't have any operations in Metro Manila. It's actually South Luzon, Bulacan. We started to partner with different NGOs also, and start spreading it in different parts of the country. So our foundation is responsible for working with NGOs and working with local government units in trying to bring the program to other parts. But in general, social enterprise, hindi pa siya sector it's still a movement at this point. And if I can differentiate lang, movement is basically ilan kayo who are very passionate about it and raising the banner and waving the flag of social enterprise. It's still at that point. Wala pa siya sa point na sector na siya where you can say this is an industry. There are hundreds or thousands of social entrepreneurs in the Philippines. That's one of our goals, that eventually we can really be a country of social entrepreneurs, a country of entrepreneurs, of businessmen, but who aren't only looking at profit, but are also looking at the impact that they have on the communities that they source from and the communities where they do their work.
Is the present administration more or less attuned to this concept of business in the country?
We have programs right now with specifically we have programs with DSWD, DAR, and DOLE. But let me highlight the DSWD program because the main program right now of DSWD is the 4Ps, yung Pantawid Pamilya, which is basically a program for the poorest of the poor where they actually give cash, conditional cash.
Dole-out pa rin yan.
Dole-out yan, Ang paniniwala kasi namin is that for the poorest of the poor, they have to begin with charity, yung pinakamahirap sa ating bansa, and we're talking about those na talagang walang-wala. That has to be charity because they don't have the capacity to run their own businesses or have the right skills to actually get into proper jobs. So it starts there, but you eventually graduate into either providing skills so they can get jobs or providing capital and support so they can put up businesses. So it's part of a continuum, and I'm happy to say naman that in terms of DSWD, they see that there is it's like a ladderized program. The program can't end with the CCT or the 4Ps, yung dole-out program. on the third or fourth year of that program, pumapasok na yung mga groups like ours who will eventually get these members into either developing businesses or providing skills so they can get better jobs.
Later, in the second portion, we'll have BAM with some Ateneo students who will be joining us, because actually they invited you to talk about this kind of concept here in Zamboanga. And I do hope we would like to invite the public to be there tomorrow when they have this lecture with BAM. Anong oras ba to, BAM?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. at the Ateneo.
Yes.
So for young businessmen out there, I think this is a big chance for you to join in and maybe learn something from this talk that the BAM will be giving tomorrow. But for the socialized market economy concept to really take root in this country, you need policymakers who believe in this. Some say that you're the right person to run in the Senate. In fact, two senators have already endorsed your name as in the shortlist, so to speak, for the Senate.
So yes, I am on the shortlist now. So there are 16 names being considered for the 12 who will be on the admin slate. So actually, it's funny nga that the Inquirer came out with a story just last week, no? And sa totoo lang, when that story came out, it seems like 3 months ago already. Sarami na nangyari since then, no? But yes, I am on the short list. I am.
Can you see yourself as a politician?
Yes, I can actually. There have been earlier this year, mga January, I started to talk to two people who really. I don't want to say convinced, no, because it's always been there at the back of my mind. But two people who really pushed me to really take that leap and offer my services or offer myself, no, to the party. That's Senator Kiko Pangilinan, whom I've been very close to ever since I was a youth leader, and si Tony Miloto of Gawad Kalinga.
Yeah. No, Senator Chis said that if you win a seat in the Senate, you would be the first summa cum laude graduate in the Senate kuno.
well, yeah. But at this point, it's really about getting on the slate first, no. So there are 16 names, 12 slots. So tingnan natin. Maybe Ronnie, if I am on the final slate, I can come back here and we can talk about a different topic naman at that time. But right now, the question really is: do they want to see? Well, number one, a 35-year-old person in the Senate, someone who is representing my generation, our generation. Sabi nga nung isang writer, the first EDSA baby to run. No? Do they want to see someone who has worked with the poor? Someone who currently is really developing programs for poor communities. Kung yun yung hinahanap ng partido at yun yung hinahanap ng tao, then maybe you might see me there, no? But to be frank, it's really probably in the next month they're going to decide kung sino ba talaga yung nasa final 12 na list.
Well, I'd like to ask this question, and I'd like to shoot this question. You're a part of the Liberal Party. How much of a say does the members have insofar as the choices for who they want to be senators and who they want to run for top positions?
Actually, I'm not officially part of the Liberal Party, but if I do push through, I probably will be part of the Liberal Party, no? Sa totoo lang, I think they have a process. I'm not really sure what the process is, no? But I think probably it will be the leaders deciding on who will be the representatives of the Liberal Party in the coalition slate.
Because it seems right now, no, that some critics are saying that here in the Philippines, political parties, members do not really own the political parties because they do not have a say into who they really want to run in an election.
Actually, it's interesting that you said that kasi, last night, I had a meeting with a number of youth organizations. Sabi ko rin sa kanila, we have to make our voices heard, no? Because the people who are making the decisions need to hear that indeed you want to see someone who is 35 years old, who works with the poor, who works in developing communities. If you want to see somebody there, we have to make our voices heard, no? And these days, madali lang yan. Post ka sa Facebook, maglagay ka sa Twitter. It's not hard to make your voice heard, no? So my challenge for all the people who have said na, we're so happy that you're considering running, we want to support you. Sabi ko lagi sa kanila, thank you very much, but you have to be more vocal with your support because we need to tell the decision makers that, you do want to see me there.
But that seems to be what is wrong with the youth today. Unlike the youth of the 70s, when you were so politically involved, you wanted your voice to be heard. It seems that today, medyo alanganin yung karamihan ng mga kabataan natin
hindi naman
involved in politics.
I don't think so. Maybe it's really iba lang yung panahon, no? Iba yung pamamaraan kung paano makilahok, no? Maybe before it was really you create a lightning rally and by the way, kwento to ng mga kapatid ko, hindi pa ako youth leader yun, ha? But yun yung modelo in the 80s when I was very young, no?
You're like me, age denier.
yun yung mga kwento. Talaga mag-arali tayo, very grim and determined, we face the water cannons, but we live in a different time. We live in a different time. We live in a different administration.
Well, it's a different revolution.
It's a very different revolution, different times, and I think the young people, the youth, have found a different way to make their voices heard. No, let me give you this example. The Philippine Daily Inquirer, I think, reaches maybe 200,000 people in one day, every day. But Ann Curtis reached, I think, maybe 1,500,000 people through her Twitter. Iba na yung panahon eh. Times have changed. Your Facebook actually has brought down companies, has brought down celebrities, and they've raised companies and celebrities as well. No? So, times are different. The youth, I think, express themselves differently also. Ibang-iba na rin. And, to compare, it's very difficult because iba yung panahon, iba yung mga pamamaraan. Ngayon, iba na rin. But I think the youth are still very involved. It's just that they found a different way to get involved. No? Maybe before, they will have placards. Ngayon, they have the like button. No?
Yeah,
like.
Sa YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, yun na yung placard of yesterday. It's just the like button of today.
And come to think of it, it's faster to get into the minds of other young men and women through the internet. By the way, we are live right now, so if you have any questions, kindly text us. Do not call us, please. Do not call us. We will not be able to put you on the air. But text us your questions at 0908-166-1730. We have already been receiving a lot of text questions coming from our televiewers. Good PM. I have been watching your program always, and I was interested with your topic on women empowerment. How could we join this Happy Pinoy Foundation? It's been my passion to be in business that could help others. From Mrs. Degala.
Yeah, well, you can just go to our website, www.happynoy.com. You can learn more about the program there. But if you want to email me, it's bam@happynoy.com.
Yeah, and he answers his Facebook personally.
I answer emails quicker. Within the same day. On Facebook, maybe within 1 or 2 days. So, pero masasagot ko po yan, bam@happynoy.com. We don't have any operations in Zamboanga though. But maybe if she's interested to start it here, we need all the volunteers.
Well, that would be nice to have a Happy Noy program also here in Zamboanga. Maybe later we can find out how the youth can be involved in trying to establish that in the city and maybe in other parts of Mindanao naman. Now, since you're the voice of the youth right now, what is your opinion of the situation in Mindanao right now?
Well, right now, of course, mayroong elections that are going to happen. I hear that there are a lot of good things in ARMM, that a lot of changes that are happening also. I was with the youth rep, si City Lao, just the other week. And, they were talking about a lot of good things happening. In terms of Mindanao, of course, kulang pa rin ng support at tingin ko. I mean, perennially, the support has always, has not been there. And when it comes to working in communities, working in programs, I hope that we can bring more of these really to Mindanao. Actually, I'm half Mindanaoan. My mom is from Davao, and growing up, my mom is from Davao. She studied in Davao. She met my father actually in Davao also. So growing up, Mindanao has been a large part of my life. A lot of people don't really know that. But I think pagdating naman sa ating bansa, the Philippines, we're almost there. You know what I mean? Parang with this president, we're almost there. We just need to go the next step. I think the administration is doing their part in terms of supporting communities, but it's time now for the people also to pitch in. That's true in Mindanao, in Visayas, and in Luzon. And the way that we have developed programs like Social Enterprise and Happy Noy, it's really the private sector working with government, working with NGO, working with business, trying to develop really real change and real development on the ground. And yun siguro tingin ko yun talaga yung kailangan natin at this point.
You're getting into the world of politics brings along with it